Morning and welcome back to Everything is Fine. I just thought I would tell you today that I really just don't feel like being on camera, so I'm going to try to make this as animated as I can to keep this all interesting for y'all, and probably going to be short, so let's have fun today. Today I thought I'd just read from another random archive of our own tags, and today it's going to be Alpha, Beta, Omega Dynamics. Why? Because it's fun. And why else? If you read my books, you might notice some Alpha, Beta, Omega Dynamics. So, let's get started. I really can't pronounce most of this title because I don't know enough kanji to say it, but so we're just gonna go with that. It says it's in English, so we're just gonna hope that they weren't lying to me. Let's go. I'm not gonna read this summary, it just feels like an excerpt, but okay, we're reading something from Gintama today, and I'll admit, okay, this is a show I still need to watch because I actually really like kind of like spoof parody shows, like I think they're funny, so I definitely still need to watch it. It's on my to-do list, but full disclosure, I haven't. So far, we've just got like, oh, cool. It's just a very simple relationship, ABO, and that's it. That's the plot. Now, this is a tag I think I want to read from next week. Oh, right. So, skipping the summary, let's read the notes. Hello, this is my first fic here in English, technically. This is not my first Genji, but since I lost access to my fanfiction account, let's just say this is my first fic. Yay! I know Gintama has ended a few years ago. Isn't it more than a few? But I mean, hey, just say it. It's still a popular show, like a lot of references made to it. Because it makes a lot of references to other shows. Like, that's just what it is. But I fell back into the series again, and I want to write something for Genji since this ship is one of my first ships, my bad. I apologize if there's some contradictory canon info here and there. I put an AU tag because in this fic, everyone survived throughout the end and they return to status quo after the final arc because I just want to be happy. Let me live in my delusion. In reality, I just did no research before writing this all down, and when I reread it along with the wiki, I thought, holy crap, this is so inaccurate. Oh well. Anyway, enough of me talking about this. I hope you enjoy this. The title is a Japanese proverb. Now that makes it far more interesting. I wonder what the proverb actually is. If they had translated it and put that in the summary, I think I would have liked that a little bit more. That aside, this is their first fic in English. Makes me wonder what their first language is, but they don't say. So, and by the way, this is by an anonymous poster, so there's that too. I have no idea who posted this, so looks like none of us will ever know. But also, fun fact, this was literally posted today, or at least the day I am recording this, because you'll see this tomorrow. So there's always something for somebody out there, and you never know. So chapter 1, it says it's out of 3 chapters, but there's only one posted today. And oh lord, it's a little longer than, so we might just stop at one of those little chapter breaks. We'll see. Okay, chapter 1. Shinsengumi is just another pack of alphas with too much power being entrusted onto them to ensure Eido's peer. Wow, okay. That's somebody's thought. Also, like I said, I don't know these characters, so I'm just gonna go with voices that I want to do because it's fun. Okay. Shinsengumi is just another pack of alphas with too much power being entrusted onto them to ensure Eido's era of peace lasts. Gintoki thought. They still have to maintain their public image to gain people's favor. They still have to maintain this peace after every speck of dust finally dusted off of every cupboard in Eido. If the people... Sorry, that one was a little bit... lost me in the middle of that sentence there. If the people they have sworn to protect rally against them, their duty would surely not last long. That's why those people are being extremely cautious and remain scrupulous every time Hijikata came into contact with the good-for-nothing Yorozuya. They have to maintain their public image so that remains clean and pristine. So they probably thought they should keep their vice chief under surveillance to make sure he's not caught being indecent by sharing a bed with a former Joy rebel. I don't think I'm saying that one right. Sorry. Sure, let's gloss over the chief's constant, not-so-law-abiding actions, with few cases of indecent exposure in public spaces and their captain who constantly fire unnecessary shots without ever considering potential casualty, such as... Wow, okay, sorry, that's a really long sentence. I lost breath halfway through. I'm gonna have to figure out where to put a comma to breathe. Okay, I'm gonna start over with that one. Again, I'm giving them a pass because they said English isn't their first language, and so far it's fairly decent. Sure, I'm only 2 paragraphs in, but like I could be 2 paragraphs in a fic, and you can tell when it's not decent. So, sure, let's gloss over the chiefs. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm restarting. I just realized I jump around here and there, and hopefully y'all can follow along with me, because if it's not obvious by now, if you haven't watched my other videos, I might be a little bird-brained, but let's just call that ADHD. Back we go. Sure, let's gloss over the chief's constant, not-so-law-abiding actions with few cases of indecent exposure in public spaces, and their captain, who constantly fire unnecessary shots without ever considering potential casualties such as buildings and people's lives. They have to keep their eyes on Hijikata instead. Nowadays, it's even worse. They're learning faster than AI program about Hijikata's daily routine, because recently Hijikata complained about how now he can no longer sneak out at night or taking solitary long breaks during his patrols. Okay, again, I don't know who this character is, but there's some grammatical things wrong in that paragraph, and I mean, for that being said, it's still fairly written, especially for this being like, you know, an English as a second language. ESL. There we go. For being ESL. Being an ESL. Damn it. Bet they could steal taxes faster than AI stealing people's works too if they put the same amount of effort into the way that they did for stalking Hijikata-kun. That being said, I mean, sorry, I have to do a little bit of a bird walk about AI, and quite frankly, I mean, I agree. Like, I found this one app, it was like AI, like story writing, and I, out of quite morbid curiosity, because I don't want to, you know, kill my own creative future, I downloaded the app, and I tried it out, and the story it created was absolute garbage. Maybe I should read that for you sometime. AI generated like story, absolute garbage. And the good thing about that is it was absolute garbage. Thank you, AI, for failing, because at the end of the day, I don't want to be replaced by a robot. I also would like my creativity to remain, because like at the end of the day, if we just replace everything with AI, then AI will replace us. Like, you know, just saying. Okay, I know I don't know if it's necessarily controversial, but like also just like people need to calm down on AI. Yeah, we've answered the question if we can. Now let's ask the question if we should, because that's the question that nobody's asking and therefore nobody's answering. Just saying. Okay. Now we're going back to Gintoki's thoughts, I assume. Back to the story. Alphas. He lamented, feeling... What? Alphas. He lamented, feeling it a bit... Feeling... What? Okay. Alphas. He lamented, feeling it's a bit unfair for poor Hijikata Torshiru. This should go without saying that he knew why those bunch of knotheads alphas... Knothead alphas... Sorry. I'm trying to not point out all the things that are annoying me and tripping me up as I'm speaking. I should go without saying that he knew why those bunch of knothead alphas keep extremely close tabs, almost felt like they're conjoined twins, on their vice chief, Shinsengumi is... What the... Oh my god! Why is this always so rough? Okay, so... What? This should go without saying that he knew why those bunch of knotheads alphas keeping extremely close tabs almost felt like they're conjoined twins on their chief. Shinsengumi is a pack of alphas led by an alpha. I don't know. Sorry for that pause right there, but like, I just, I don't, like, at the end of the day, I think this is trying to say, let's just be honest, this should be two sentences. The dash is unnecessary, also especially considering that we already said that Shinsengumi is a pack of alphas on the very first sentence, so it's a bit redundant at the moment. But I'm sorry, I'm just stopped right here because I'm like, I'm having a struggle, and I don't really know why. Like, it's like, fine enough sentence, but I think it's because, like, it says this should go without saying that he knew why they keep a close eye on him. But it's just like, it just feels like there's something missing. And because the way the start of the sentence is set up, it feels like they're about to explain why. But then the rest of the sentence, you know, the dash aside, is more just like, it feels like, oh, and this should go without saying that he knew why, period. But it doesn't read like that, and so that's why I'm like, kept getting tripped off on it. But that being said, I don't want to read the sentence again, so we're going to the next one. Although it is a, oh, goodness. I mean, I'm trying, man. Because I like to read these as if, you know, I'm actually like narrating them. Because I could just, you know, ramble on and say the words on the screen, but then who would find that interesting? I wouldn't. Oh, I'm just already this kind of, I mean, it's fine enough so far, like, you know, for especially not knowing the characters, like, it's fine. I like the references to AI. I think that's funny. But it's got a lot of long sentences. Like let me just re-emphasize that this is one sentence. I mean, that's like a 50-word sentence? Maybe 30? I don't want to count it because I'm a little... But, you know, that's generally on the longer side, okay? And there's a lot of them like that on the longer side. Like, let's be real. Like, this is also one sentence. Like, this paragraph, the only reason why it's two sentences is because they put damn it in a separate sentence. Okay, sorry. Aside. Although it is a century-old custom that should just die along with the Joy War, an Omega is a pack's most prized possession. Okay, that's what I kind of figured. That Hijikata has got to be an Omega. Coincidentally, Hijikata is that. The custom is outdated and obsolete in these modern times, but one does not the custom is outdated and obsolete in these modern times, but one does not do it simply, denying their own instinct of self-preservation for humanity's survival. What? Okay, so custom's outdated. Gotcha. But one does not do it simply? They don't do what simply? I'm so confused. What is this sentence even saying? What are they doing simply? And I mean, like, the whole, like, the second half makes sense, but it still feels like it should be a separate sentence. What are we doing? I don't know. Okay. Ignoring. Moving on. Okay. Hijikata can sit as condos and everyone else's equals, even above them, but in the end, he's still an Omega, and they feel compelled to dote over him. And they feel compelled to dote over to appease him. I mean, that one is a sentence that probably could have used some editing to figure out what that actual meaning was. You know, again, props to the person. This is their English is their second language. They said so. So I think this sentence is saying that even though Hijikata is an equal, like, alphas still feel compelled to dote on him. to appease him is the part that gets me, because I'm like, that makes it seem like omegas are higher ranking than alphas in the ABO dynamics. That being said, in another place, I mean, calling them your most prized possession, you just call them your possession, which like objectifies somebody, so makes it seem like they rank lower than, because they're not being personified, they're being objectified. So we're just gonna go with translation mishap. I don't know. Communication breakdown, something like that. That is an instinct talking to appease an omega in their pack so that he would bend and spread, like a gorilla wishing to mate a female gorilla. Not that. Wow. Wow. Okay. Why'd you go with gorillas? That's just. That puts an image in my head. One that I'd like to get out, please. I didn't need that. And yeah, we're just gonna skim past that paragraph. Okay. I'm sorry, I just don't want to keep reading that one. That's like, it was on the screen long enough for you guys to read it if you really, really wanted to. Oh. What? He said out loud accidentally. Dana, I don't like Hijikata-san. You know what it... Oh my god, okay, skimming. Apparently this entire first block of text was thought process, and apparently he's actually with somebody. Personally, I would have liked to know that sooner. To at least set the scene a little bit, because I'm like, I felt like I was just kind of getting a little bit of info dump, which is what that was. Like, it was supposed to be, I think, internal dialogue, but it really read like an info dump, and then all of a sudden there's another person there, and I don't even... That was a curveball. Oh, yeah, that's, we're good with that one. We're going back to read something else in the Alpha Beta Omega dynamics. Sorry, I mean, look at this. There are 3,225 pages of English ABO dynamics tags, so that's interesting, because like I said, I also excluded all explicit ratings, so there's none of those. But look at this. 27,000 mature, like 18,500 teen, a lot not rated. There's like 10.5 not rated, and 8,000 general. I mean, if you don't go explicit, I guess it could be general. I mean, if you think about it, ABO dynamics, like, in its most basic form, it's like it's like class ranking in society. Like, you're an alpha, you're a beta, you're an omega. Some people go with further ones, and there's like a lot more. There can be a lot more to it. There don't have to be. They're not necessarily. But if you were just to talk about like those like class rankings, or like maybe it was when you first come into your type sort of thing, like, it could be a general audience, certainly teen and up. Like, you don't have to make it explicit, is what I'm saying. A lot of people do, and a lot of people associate it with that, but at its most basic, it's a way to classify people in society, okay? At its most basic, that's what it is. So, calm down. I don't want to read that. I'm bored already. Okay, Mr. CEO from the Cutie Pie series, which apparently I think that's a Thai TV series. Yeah, Thai. I haven't seen this. Let's just see. It's a one shot, and it's kind of long, so we're not gonna read the whole thing, but we're gonna look at it. Mr. Yeah. Apparently there is indeed adult content in here, but let's just hope that it doesn't start off that way. If it is, I'm just gonna have to delete this segment. Hi everyone, so it's for somebody's birthday. Blah, blah, blah. Alpha CEO. Alright. Chapter 1, Mr. CEO. Alpha, CEO and billionaire extraordinaire. Z. Panich. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say these names, so we're just gonna go with... Sorry. I'm just gonna apologize ahead of time. Was never late to... Alpha, CEO and billionaire extraordinaire. Z. Panich was never late to work. That's why his employees of the coffee company Sunshine Cafe were surprised to see him pace the corridor towards his office on a very late Wednesday morning. His two associates, Max and Net, greeted him with a smirk, seeing his usual golden skin turn gray with bags under his eyes, and his lateness could only have meant one thing. Wild night. Okay. Both the alphas could relate. Indeed, Mr. Panich was in a committed and long-term relationship, and his tiny twink boyfriend, Nunu, I don't know how to say it. Sadly, I'm going to call him Nunu, and that just makes me think of Nunu from Teletubbies. Sorry. The two met at work, Nunu being one of the baristas of his licensed coffee shop in Thonglor during one of the CEO shop inspections. The two men at work, Nunu being one of the baristas of his licensed shop in Thonglor during one of his new inspections. Now, let's just say the boldness and brat attitude the twink had caught his attention right away, and he was unable to get his eyes off of him while Mark, the manager, was touring the cafe with him. Nunu was everything Z dreamt about, both physically and mentally. He knew instantly they could fit together, even when the barista teased him, calling him Mr. CEO for the 100th time. I mean, that's really... I know what that means by fit together, and if you know ABO dynamics as well, you know what that means by fit together. They made quite the point of emphasizing it as well. So, personally, I don't really like using those this things. I mean, I think it's not English. Let's put it that way. Those are like quotation marks for, I thought I saw them for Japanese at one point, but I could be wrong. But they're not English quotation marks, let's put it that way. And in English, you'd probably just italicize the word fit, and as well as italicize the, nickname Mr. CEO. That being said, I mean, I like the whole, Cinderella story as much as the next person with the, the barista and the billionaire. That is... essentially Love and Boba. I'm not going to say that Connor is a billionaire. I don't know quite how wealthy he is, but he's wealthy enough. And his love is a barista. And yeah, it's adorable. That being said, they don't work together. Devin is not working for Connor, because if they did, that would be a little on the wrong side, or it would be on the, if you were in the US, you'd get an HR suit side. Let's just put it that way. That being said, this is fun. I'm sorry, I don't think I can keep reading this if we're gonna keep talking about Nunu, because now I really just can't stop seeing that little vacuum machine from Teletubbies, so... But, okay, thanks for coming and watching today, and I'll have some more stuff for you next week. Hopefully I'll be feeling better and less sniffly and ill next week. So also sorry if I sound like I have a cold, probably because I'm finally getting over it. So thank you. I'm going to also share some pictures of my merch that you can get on my Patreon page. If you like the designs, check out my Patreon. That's where you can get some behind the scenes looks, some exclusive updates. And if you're super interested, let me know. I might make an Etsy page. I've definitely been thinking about this lately. So, hey, I'm gonna stop saying words before I keep stumbling over them. See y'all next week. Have a good day. Bye now.